very much, everyone. Welcome to the Royal Armouries. My name is Richard, this is my colleague Danny. Together we're part of the live interpretation team here at the museum, and it's our job to bring this place to life for you. What we've just demonstrated is a one-on-one tournament-based foot combat between two heavily armoured men-at-arms or knights. So, what I'm going to do is hand over to Danny to talk about exactly what it is we're wearing, and then I'm going to talk about this nasty beast here, which is the weapon that we are using. First and foremost, Danny.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Is everyone having a good time at the Royal Armouries, yes? Yes! Now, there you go. So what we've got for you today are two men-at-arms wearing full plate armour, sometimes known as full harness. So we're actually wearing a padded jacket known as an arming jacket, and all our armour hangs off of that padded garment. First thing that we're going to be wearing under the armour is a mail shirt. And this basically covers, as you can see on both our armours, all of the areas where the plate ain't. Because we need to be able to move, there's always going to be areas and articulated joints where we need that range of movement. So the style of the armour that we're wearing today on top of that mail is in the Italian Milanese style. Both of these armours are from approximately, well they're replicas obviously, but from the mid-15th century, approximately 1450-ish. And by this point, the armourers of the day, the blacksmiths, were really producing armours of a high quality that can stand up to any weapon that you should be faced with, either in a tournament like this or indeed on the battlefield. So if my colleague steps forward, he's a bit of a mountain, I know. So as you can see, the Italian armours are all-encompassing. They really are the kind of battle tanks, the chieftains, the challengers of the medieval war field. And they're designed in such a way, big, mirror-like, smooth surfaces, so that any weapon coming in is going to diffract off of those nice, smooth surfaces and take the blow away from the body. Now there is another style of armour, it's called the German Gothic style, and it looks very different to this. I'm not going to go into it in any detail, but have a look around the museum and see if you can see the difference between a German Gothic armour and the Italian armours that we are wearing today. You've got to think, German Gothic armours, they kind of look like German Gothic, high Gothic architecture. So you think of those big cathedrals, lots of angles, lots of points. Check it out in the museum. So, the question that we always get asked, how much do these things weigh and are they comfortable to wear? Well, the answer is, they weigh approximately, it's no hard and fast rule, but approximately about half the weight of the wearer. So obviously I'm a little guy, I weigh about 10 stone, so my armour is approximately 70 pounds, about 32, 33 kilos, about 5 stone. Now the mountain over here, his armour is obviously going to weigh substantially more because he's a big guy.
What are you trying to say?
Well, I'm not being offensive.
It's all water weight.
But both manoeuvrability and protection are both of equal importance because you need to be able to move, but equally so you need to be well protected because you're going to come up against a pretty nasty thing like this. And Rich is going to tell you all about this beast now.
Yes, so as you can imagine, armour, it actually works. That's why they wore it. And you see it countless times in films, TV shows, and video games, people being cut in half with a sword while wearing this stuff. Well, that's clearly not working for you, so you probably shouldn't be wearing it at all. It does work, and it doesn't matter how sharp your sword is, or how strong you are, you cannot cut through this stuff. So what you need instead is a specialised tool, and that's what we brought out today. No, I'm not talking about myself or Danny, I'm talking about this, the poleaxe. Sometimes referred to as a poleaxe because it is indeed a pole weapon. The term actually comes from an old English word, pole, meaning head, referring to this nasty bit of kit here. As you can imagine, there's a variety of different ways I can utilise this to dispatch my opponents, basically turning this into a Swiss Army knife on a stick. So, first and foremost, you have at the bottom, the cue. Now, it's not there for playing snooker with, I can attest to you, it doesn't really work that well. However, what it is good at is finding the gaps in someone's armour. So, it's all the places you need to wash yourself in the shower. Your face, your neck, underneath the arms, back of the legs, and of course the groin. Now on top you have the dag. This is the longer than the pointier version of the cube, combining those really hard to reach spots, particularly the gaps in our visors on top of our helmets. On the side you have this curved spike, known as the falcon's beak or the test. This is really good for slamming straight into the side of your enemy and potentially even ripping bits off of them or their whole armour. If you are particularly sneaky though, you can also use it as a hook, get around the back of their leg, let them down to the ground, go into a kill. If none of that works, you can rely on Old Faithful, a whopping great hammer. Now once again, this isn't going to go through the armour, but it is going to severely dent it. And if you manage to dent it in one of those key joints, such as on the arm or on the leg, that's going to severely hinder someone's movement and take them out of the fight. Of course, if you're unlucky enough to be on the receiving end of this without armour, it's really going to ruin your day. One point now you'll talk about being hit in the face with one of these, and it basically says, don't worry about it. You won't feel a thing, because you'll be dead before you hit the floor. Not very nice, but I'm afraid that's warfare for you. However, what we're recreating is not war or a battlefield, it is a tournament fight, as explained at the beginning. The idea here is we're trying to score hits on one another rather than actually kill each other. Or at least hopefully we're not trying to kill each other. So what we're going to do is walk and talk in the very first sequence to explain exactly what it is we're doing and why, showcasing how you would actually utilise these weapons. So first and foremost, both of us are going to come on to some form of defensive stance or guard, basically goading the other person into the first attack. I'm going to do this by actually pointing the cube down to the floor, thereby exposing the upper half, presenting something of a target towards them.
So typically, if the other guy is going to go in a low line of attack, I'm going to do the opposite. So I'm going to offer a nice high line of attack. Okay, now normally, we would be wearing another piece of armour known as a bever. And the bever actually sits around the neck and it protects the neck and the lower jaw. And then the visor comes down over everything. But obviously if we're wearing those, we wouldn't be able to talk to you lovely people. So we sacrifice safety on this occasion. So now I've got a nice fleshy face-sized target, so I'm going to do an exploratory thrust and face.
Stepping back, putting the cube in the way to block that attack.
Okay, now disengaging my cube end, opening up a new line of attack and thrusting for the groin. You ready?
Yes. Definitely want to get out of the way of that one.
Very sensibly he moves. Now I can really use this weapon in all its greatness. I can swing it round, using it rather like a pendulum, trying to bring this curved spike up into his crown jewels. You ready?
No. Whoa! Very nice.
Now, sharp spike, gag, right up the left nostril.
Don't get to one side because I'm running out of space here, but now I need to get on the attack and do a lot of defending. So from here, I can use the falcon's beak to knock his bullets down, then shove the dag up his right nostril.
Whoa. Now at this point, it is very important to go through the golden rule of any defence. First rule of defence, does anybody know what it is? Run away! But of course I can't do that because I can't go anywhere. I'm in a tournament ring, and also, it ain't really very chivalrous, is it? So I'm going to have to face down with my opponent.
No, you have to do something else for that one. You ready?
Yeah. Stepping back, so the actual defence is the move out of distance, right? And what I'm going to do as a secondary defence, I'm going to actually lock up the end of his pollet. This is called a bind. So in order to hit me now, he's got to kind of change the line. Before he does that, I'm just going to lever that business end out the way, and I'm now going to drive down with all my force, trying to stick that spike right through the mail between the helmet and the pauldron here, okay? There's lots of tendons there, nice vein. Stab through, stick it through the mail, twist it, yank out as much tendon.
All right. Stop it. Sorry, children, get very carried away.
Sorry.
You can try and do that, Danny. However, I've been reading the manual in which this combat is based off. Jeu de la hache, French manuscript, literally means joy of axe play. And in it, he describes that basically all I need to do is yank on that end and he can't do nothing. So how about that?
I have actually read the next page, and the counter-remedy to that is if he pulls me with him, just use the force, go with him, use that momentum. So carry on, just jab him in the face with the side of the cube. How are you going to get out of that one?
Right, well, I'll tell you what, I've finished the manual. So in that, if you're using my momentum against me, I'll use it against you. I'll slide it over and then simply give you a nice smack into the side and kindly ask you to surrender.
I think you have dented my priceless armour, thank you very much. So, everybody gets the idea. What we do is we take certain moves from these medieval manuals, string them together and shows you how they would have perhaps trained and joined all these techniques together using a particular weapon to exploit whatever a guy happened to be wearing. So what we'll do, we fancy a bit of a rematch?
Yes, please.
Okay.
You need to decide it.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to have a little bit of a right royal rumble to finish off. Alright? So, just by a show of hands or a cheer, if you think that my colleague, the man mountain over here, wearing his Italian armour, is going to triumph today, please show your appreciation now! If, however, your money is on the smaller, more manoeuvrable guy, please show your appreciation now! Well, Richard, I would say that's pretty evenly matched.
I want to recount.
Here we go.
All's fair in love and war.
Bigger than me.
Try not to dent it.
Here we go. Can't make that one below the belt each.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm feeling lucky. So how about this last one, winner takes all. Double or nothing.
Sounds good to me. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you so much for being such a great audience. It's going to be a minute just for us to get our breath back. Then you can come out and have some photos